Let me connect with y'all through this message right quick. Know what I'm saying? Rest in knowing that God heard you. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about rest in knowing that God heard you. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to keep it real with you. A lot of times we just restless. Let's keep it real. A lot of times we just restless. Like we can't, now I'm saying, we're going through nerve-wracking situations, scary situations, and this and that. But I just wanted to do this message to encourage the right people. If you're a person out there and you genuinely went down on your knees and you prayed to God, man, one place that you could find rest is in the knowing that God heard you. That's right. Hey, that's one of the places right there you can find rest. It could be a storm of life that you're going through. Everything is chaotic around you. But you done went and talked to God and really was honest and poured out your heart. You could rest in knowing that God heard you. Because a lot of time we be looking for a place to rest. Know what I'm saying? We be looking for a place to rest when we're going through rough times. When we're going through the storms of life. Where do I rest? My anxiety is high. I'm stressed out. I'm overthinking. I'm traumatized. I'm going to keep it real with you. That's real stuff we go through. Man, when we walking with God, we be going through like anxiety. We be worried. Man, we be going through real stuff. We just human beings. Let's be real. Stuff is not no game, man. Stuff's scary sometimes, man. But look, though. Find rest in knowing that God heard you, bro. Find rest there. Find rest there. Sometimes we be like, our body and our soul is like, man, where do I find rest? Because like, you got to understand, you're going through a storm of life. Everything is chaotic around you. And you just can't find a place to rest. Oh yeah, you have a bed. You could lay down. You could sleep. But like, you need like almost like a spiritual place to rest. You need like a spiritual reason to rest. Like a spiritual meaning to rest. A spiritual something. A place just for you to rest. A place just for you and God to rest. A place for you to rest in God. That's what I meant to say. A place for you to rest in God. You need that. And where's that place? It's in knowing that God heard you. That's the place right there. Man, that's the place you could take the best nap of all time. Everything is chaotic around you. Everything is the storm, everything raging. The place that you find rest is in knowing that God heard you. That's the place right there. That's where you could find your rest. Know what I'm saying? That's where you could lay down, man. That way you could find your rest. You ain't gonna find rest on your physical bed if you ain't really like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't really rest for real because you're going through real stuff. So when you're going through them rough seasons and them hard times, rest in knowing that God heard you. Go pray to God, a real prayer. Be like, God, please set me free. Help me. Pour out your heart to God. And then just rest in knowing that He heard you. After that prayer, just rest in knowing that He heard that prayer right there. He heard it. He heard that prayer, man. Ain't no way he ain't. Come on, bro. There's no way in the world He did not hear that prayer. The chances of Him not hearing that prayer is 0%. You get what I'm saying? He heard that prayer, man. If you're faithful to God and you're loyal to God, you're doing what He called you to do, He heard that prayer, man. Rest in knowing that He heard that prayer. That's the rest, man. Sometimes we be looking for a place to rest. Not even just physically. As a place to rest mentally. Know what I'm saying? Spiritually. A place to rest spiritually. Rest in knowing that God heard you. Know what I'm saying? Rest in knowing that God heard you. Keep on praising Him. Keep on worshiping Him. And just rest in knowing that God heard your prayer of you crying out to Him. Of you asking Him to deliver you. He heard that one right there. Know what I'm saying? He heard you. Rest in knowing that God heard you. Know what I'm saying? Rest in knowing that God heard you. And sometimes we be praying for God to deliver us over and over and over. Understand? He heard all those prayers. He heard the first prayer, the second prayer, all the way to the whatever prayer. He heard all of them. You know what I'm saying? He heard all the prayers, man. Rest in knowing that God heard you, bro. That's where you find rest right there. No, so I just wanted to share this information because a lot of people out there, they might could have a roof over their head. They might could have a bed to sleep, but they can't find rest. You know what I'm saying? Some people can't find rest. They just can't find that it's like they need another place to rest and not just their bed, bro. They need another place to rest. And that other place is in the knowing that God heard you. God heard your prayer of you crying out to him to deliver you. He heard you. Rest there. Rest in knowing that he heard you. Right there. That's where you rest. You know what I'm saying? That's the coordinates to the resting place. In knowing that God heard you, you rest right there. I'm trying to tell you, that right there, man, it's gonna take off a lot of anxiety and a lot of weight and a lot of worry and stuff. It's gonna take off a lot of stuff. I'm not saying you're gonna be perfect. I'm not saying you ain't gonna feel nothing, because we still human. But at the end of the day, man, when you rest in knowing that God heard you, bro, it's at least you have a place to rest. Even when the chaos and the storm looks like it's getting crazier, it's getting worse instead of better, you know you're faithful to God and you're doing anything that God called you to do. Man, I'm telling you, you can rest in knowing that God heard you, man. And yeah, man, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about, man, because a lot of time, man, it's like we don't need nowhere to rest, bro. All we see is the storm. All we see is the storm of life, and things is out of our control. Like we cannot control any of the stuff that's going on. God is doing it. God is doing something in our life, and we can't even figure out what God is doing. You know, a lot of time we can't even figure out what God is doing in our life. All we know is that we just gotta keep being faithful to him, keep trusting him, and keep pushing forward in our journeys in our walks with God, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, man. You know what I'm saying? I know this message encouraged somebody out there. I know this message really it helped the right people out there so they could keep pushing forward and be able to find that rest. A rest that's not even physical, a rest that's more like it puts you at a spiritual peace. A rest that's different, you know what I'm saying? Rest in knowing that God heard you, man, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people that be tuning in and just, I'm telling you, bro, listening all the way through on my messages and if this and that. Man, people be listening all the way through to the end, bro. I'm like, man, like, bro, this stuff impacting people, bro. Like the work that I'm doing for God is having like a serious impact on people, bro. People listening all the way through in my messages and stuff, man. Hey, but that's a blessing, man. It's an honor, bro, for God to be able to use you and people listening to your messages all the way through, because it's changing their life. It's helping them. It's giving them tips and advice on how to move in life and how to move in their walk with God, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say, man. Peace.